Hey guys, Jeff from Wagon here. Want to do a quick little tutorial on installing the V2 vertical wall racer kit for the 170 specifically. Now this is going to be if you just get the MOAB bed and the vertical wall racer kit that goes along with it. So we're talking about these two pieces here on both sides, S7, S2, and then S4 and S12 here. And again, these are just these verticals, so you guys can ignore these horizontal pieces, which are only going to come in the full interior conversion. Real quick, just kind of a rundown of the difference between V1 and V2. This is the V1 version 1 wall bracer kit, or one of the wall bracers. And now normally in the older version, these wall bracers would live inside this window recess. One would live right about here, the other one would live right here. All right, and then the vertical L track only spans kind of between my hands here. So version 2, which you guys are looking at, goes all the way from the floor to the ceiling. All right, and then this aft vertical bracer is moved all the way back to the back of this window bay. You can open up this window bay for things like flare space and aftermarket window placement. So when you get the vertical wall bracer kit for the 170, the installation procedure is slightly different and slightly out of sync with when you're doing the full RUV kit or the full interior conversion package. So you're actually starting with these aft pieces. You're still gonna, if you want to come up here, after you set this first indexing hole right here off the OEM hole in the van, you want to set the vertical alignment for this rear piece. To do that, you need to reference off of the Z line or the midline of the van, which is kind of right here in this little window here. You can also see it right there. You know, and then it actually comes all the way out down here, but it's running all the way behind here. You wouldn't have this piece here. So you're actually gonna tuck your tape measure right in there. It's good to have an extra set of hands to help you. And then you're measuring back. Now, the on-center measurement to these rivnuts and pem nuts here is gonna be 100.5 inches. All right, and that's for all of these. That's what's actually capturing your vertical L track there once you bolt that in. All right, so that's what's gonna give you consistent measurement, vertical alignment here. So after you set that 100.5 inches from here, you can move to a different one. All right, measure from the Z line, line it up so you have 100.5 inches on center to this hole or this hole, you know, and then you're gonna have two small indexing holes here on either side. All right, we put rivets in here. You don't need to do that. You can actually take one of your self-tapping screws that's part of the hardware kit and basically temporarily set that right there. And then this piece is vertically locked in. You can then go back through, set the rest of your rivnuts and the rest of your rivets, and then that piece is locked in place. So once this piece is set, then you need to get your distance to the forward piece here, all right, S7. And to do that, the number to remember is 59 inches. So you can take it from the leading edge of S2 to the leading edge of S7 here, 59 inches. You know, another one that you can check is, again, the on-center measurement of your pem nuts or riv nuts going up and down here. All right, so 59 inches, you know, somewhere at the top of this piece. Also 59 inches down here, to make sure that you're vertically aligned on this piece as well. Once you have that measurement, you know, you can take a clamp to set this in place. There's some more pilot holes for self-tapping screws to do a temporary placement. Set it up here, set it down here, clamp, whatever you need to do to get it vertically aligned, and then go on through and start setting your rivnuts and your rivets to lock it in place. If you're using clamps, just be extra careful that it doesn't slide when you set your drill bit through there and push it off slightly. But again, the critical measurement from rivnut to rivnut that's mounting the L track is 59 inches on center. Once you have both these pieces set, then you can go ahead and get your track in place. To do that, you're just lining up the mounting holes in your track, countersunk holes, with your rivnuts and your pem nuts on the A-frame piece. And you want to preload the track in the middle here. You can see how it just pretty easily takes shape. Set a couple of your screws into the pem nuts here loosely, and then, you know, you can basically just go in sequence and tighten down one at a time. I wouldn't drive all of them home at once because sometimes it can put tension on one screw and you can run into problems. But just carefully set all those, both those pieces, and then for the passenger side of the van, you're just repeating the process that you did over on the driver's side.